Hello. Hello. Hello, dear friends. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How are you wherever you are on your correct time I have mentioned? This is once more Kohera Senior, again meeting his organic friends. Thank you very much, my people. Thank you very much, my friends. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I am actually very grateful for you. I always feel you when I come to this platform and actually wanting to share with you different issues affecting our society, different things affecting mankind and the general humanity. Thank you so much. The last video, we were on the donkey which gets tired, and I really appreciate you for having appreciated me to have alighted you on actually the stresses and the depressions which our beloved police officers go through and the challenges and my appeal. So thank you very much. So many, around 90% supported me because actually remember, those are sons and daughters of parents. Thank you very much, my dear friends. Today, I am still on the same lifestyle, our lifestyle, African lifestyle and culture. Today, I feel like sharing with you about our lives. You know, every human being has a right to live. Every living, every human being deserves whatever each and every human being deserves. So in this case, ladies and gentlemen, remember we always differ in culture and lifestyle. I wanted to actually come to the three major pandemics which actually affect the human life in the globe, the human life globally, in Africa, in Kenya, and even in Korea. The three major pandemics are HIV and AIDS. Then we also have malaria. Malaria is another dangerous pandemic which has destroyed a lot of people, a lot of young children, a lot of pregnant women. And also another obstacle in life here is actually tuberculosis. Ladies and gentlemen, I have brought this one on board, given the fact that if you listen to the radio, or if you are in the social media, or wherever you get the information from, you are all aware that our beloved president of the USA, that is Mr. Donald Trump, actually stopped the grants which were coming to Africa, Syria, and Yemen. And as such, I believe there is a lot of panic among our society. Let me now come back to my country, that is Kenya. When I heard about this one, I was very much concerned about the kind of lifestyle we Kenyans sometimes live, the kind of culture we Kenyans, different tribes of Kenya live in, and they believe in them, more so when it comes on the line of love. Love making is the major contributor of HIV and AIDS. And remember, in the previous videos, I had talked about the different cultures in our African society, whereby even there is a woman inheritance after a husband has died, and the woman is inherited by the brother, regardless of the type of disease which made the brother to unlive. You remember I said those are some of the strong cultures. More so, it used to happen even in my Kuria language, Kuria tribe. And up to now, it is actually taking place in my neighboring tribe. Those are the Luo people. There is also they believe on women inheritance. They have what they call it chira. I don't know what happens, and then that is their culture. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I do not know where this HIV and AIDS pandemic originated from, and it has actually come, and it is in the midst of ourselves. You never know. You can walk, you can do what, but you do not know who is actually a carrier. But now, when it was first discovered, the people panicked. But different scientists and researchers made some researches, and they discovered that there was no cure, but there was a relief. There were some drugs which one who is found positive could take and survive. There are these drugs which actually, when you take, even if you are pregnant, the child is born negative, HIV AIDS negative. So they advanced. So such drugs were actually I think they were discovered from, I don't know whether it is Israel or America, I don't know, or France. There are those doctors. These are the ARVs, which in short, ARV, but they are antiretroviral. Those are relief drugs. Once one takes that one, you live. You live for a very long time. So in this case, there has been statistics in our country, and remember, I'm flogging this one in Kenya, and then coming to my county, Migori, and then more so now in Kuria. In Kenya, this is actually HIV/AIDS statistics 2024. I want you slowly to listen and get me clear, that the total cases in Kenya in 2024, total cases of people living with HIV and AIDS was 1,046,732. That is the total population of people who are actually positive in HIV AIDS in Kenya, 1,046,732. Okay, let us go to our capital city, Nairobi. Nairobi is the leading. It was the leading by then. That is the year. Remember, we are in January. So Nairobi had 179,965 cases. That is our capital city, Nairobi. 179,967. Let me come to Nyanza, and more so my neighbor, Homa Bay. Homa Bay, last year, the total cases of HIV/AIDS was 127,152. Then let me come to my county, Migori. In Migori, the total number of HIV positive cases was 80,418. 80,418. Then when we go to Mombasa, which is actually maybe the second biggest city, it is lower because Mombasa is 53,332. 53,332. So you can see in my neighboring here, Homa Bay is leading with 127,152. Then my county, Migori, has 80,418. So you can imagine, those are people living with HIV and AIDS. Now, let me now move internally to Migori. Let me move internally to Migori. In Migori County, we have 7 sub-counties. We have 7 sub-counties. And now I'm going to mention from the highest to the lowest. The highest cases, the highest sub-county with the cases of HIV AIDS is actually Nyatike. Nyatike has 21,713. That is Nyatike. Followed by Suna East. Suna East has 13,822 cases of HIV AIDS. That is Nyatike. Then we come down to Rongo. Rongo has 11,509 cases of HIV cases. Then we come to Uriri. Uriri has 10,930. Remember, I'm giving you the 2024 statistics as the year was ending. Then we come from Uriri, we come to Awendo. Awendo has 10,202 cases. That is Awendo. Then we come down to Kuria West. Kuria West has 4,110 cases of HIV of HIV positive people. Then lastly, we have Korea East. Korea East has 1,087 cases of HIV. That is Korea East, 1,087. Now, ladies and gentlemen, now that there are no grants, the President of the United States has halted, he has stopped the grants. He has stopped the supply of the drugs which were making people to survive for a long time. There are no more drugs. What do we do? What are we going to do? I'm still repeating, what do we do? This enemy is within us. We are carrying this enemy. Now that there are no drugs, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Ladies and gentlemen, this is the time of prayers in our country. Now, let me say that if at all, as I am talking, as I am sending this message, if at all you happen that you are HIV negative, please, this is your last warning. This is the last warning. Abstain from reckless sex. Ladies and gentlemen, young men, men and women, I am begging you. This pandemic will wipe us out. Now that there are no drugs, what are we going to do? The only way here is it is me and you to change, totally change the behavior, the sexual behavior. We have to change it, whether you like it or not. Otherwise, it will change you. You must be changed by the change if you don't change yourself. How do we change? Let us behave. Those young girls and those young boys who have not married, please take caution. Take caution. Remember, your families are still within your bodies. Okay, Kohera here. If I go, I will go with Sarah, but the rest of the children will survive. But remember, even these children are at risk because what is their future? Now, what do we do? What do we do? Good. Let me continue with the second pandemic. The second pandemic in Kenya is malaria. Malaria. In 2024 statistics, we have two categories of human groups. We have the children who are from 0 to 5 years. We call them maybe infants or toddlers. They are the toddlers, 0 to 5. Last year's cases, which were reported, were 802,698 to under 5. Under 5, I mean the child from 0 before the child is born up to 5 years. These were 802,000. 698. And over 5 years and above, that is from 6 years, a child of 6 years up to 100 years, that is over 5. They were 2,974,576 cases. 2,974,516 cases. And there were those ladies who were heavy or who were pregnant. We call it malaria in pregnancy. Malaria in pregnancy. You find a lady is pregnant, but she has been affected by malaria, and sometimes she aborts, or she, miscarriages, or the child dies in this. So those, we call it malaria in pregnancy. In 2024, the cases were 71,010. Then another pandemic here is actually tuberculosis. Tuberculosis. That is TB. The total cases of 2024, the end of 2024, of the TB, you remember TB? I don't know whether it is an airborne disease or it is a genetical disease. I don't know, this TB, but it comes with the congestion. It comes, I don't know, I'm not a doctor. The cases were 4,804. 804. That is the TB. Let me a bit, there's something, I'm sorry. There is something I have left on malaria. The most hit parts of the country in malaria is actually Nyanza province. Nyanza province is the most hit. Nyanza as a region is the most hit by malaria. That is Migori, Homa Bay, Siaya, and Kisumu. That is the area of malaria prone. That is the area where we find these dangerous mosquitoes. You remember the mosquito which brings malaria is called Anopheles, the Anopheles mosquito. That when it bites, that it is found in Migori, Homa Bay, Siaya, and Kisumu. Then also in Kakamega, in the western region of Kenya, and the coastal region, or that is around Mombasa, and some parts of Baringo in the Rift Valley. So those are the most hit regions by malaria. That is where all those parts I have named have the highest death cases of malaria. So you can see our Nyanza, Migori, Kuria, there we are. Now the big problem, ladies and gentlemen, the POTUS, Mr. Donald Trump stopped the grants. He stopped the grants. You remember, we were getting mosquito nets. We were getting anti-malaria drugs from USAID. USAID means United States of America International Development Fund. They had a program where they were funding our country by getting the ARVs for HIV to relieve HIV/AIDS. They had the funds which they were granting to malaria. You can see each and every home in my Nyanza region has a mosquito net. It is true. There is no home which has no mosquito net. Now that our beloved president has removed the grant, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Now that he has removed the grants for tuberculosis, TB, those strong drugs, the drugs had contained tuberculosis. It was no longer a crisis. Tuberculosis was no longer a crisis, but now it has been stopped. What did we do, ladies and gentlemen? Hello, America. May I, on behalf of ordinary citizens, on behalf of people with a disability like I am, on behalf of any common African, plead to our heartful President of the United States of America to change his mind. Mr. President, sir, unless you change your minds, we are going to be wiped out by these pandemics. Please, bear with us. We are yours. In fact, I personally love you so much. Had I been in America, I would have voted you in your election. I'm very serious because most of my friends, most of my YouTube friends come from America, especially ladies. I love the ladies of America because they are actually supporting me. They are my friends. They are supporting me through YouTube and encouraging me. Now, ladies of America, please, on my behalf, why don't you go there and kneel before our president to change his mind so that he can save these human beings from all those areas which you are getting the grants. Please, kindly, I beg. Thank you very much. Say hello to our president. Let God bless Donald Trump. Let God bless America. Let God bless Africa. Let God bless Kenya. Let God bless Korea community and also Kohera Senior. Thank you very much. I hope our president, please don't let these dangerous monsters to finish your people. You are also ours. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr.